everyone. Hola mundo. Welcome to Voces Poderosas 2025, where Latino brilliance takes center stage. Again, I'm Jackie Bouvier, honored to continue this movement, celebrating the nation's most powerful voices that shape our culture, our business, and our future. Voces Poderosas is a transformative shortcast, spotlighting pioneers and catalysts whose wisdom fuels success and personal empowerment. More than a podcast in shortcast form, it's a national stage honoring Latino excellence and amplifying the voices that move markets, shape culture, and define our time. Today, I am super excited. I know I say that a lot, but today I am beyond ecstatic because on today's episode of Voces Poderosas, we welcome a groundbreaking leader, Cid Wilson, President and CEO of the Hispanic Association on Corporate Responsibility, HACR. In 2014, Cid made history as the nation's first Afro-Latino CEO of national Hispanic nonprofit in the United States. Under his leadership, SET has become the largest advocacy organization driving Hispanic inclusion in corporate America, leading research, advancing professional development, and creating powerful forums that ensure corporate responsibility and market reciprocity for our nation's growing Latino community. Today, join us in welcoming our amazing Cid, nuestro amigo, I can't wait to just learn how you're transforming boardrooms, empowering executives, paving the way for the next generation of diverse leaders. Cid Wilson, bienvenido a Voces Poderosas.
Gracias, Jackie. Great to see you, and congratulations to you and Voces Poderosas for the incredible work that you're doing and everything that you have done over these many years yourself. So thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you so much for those kind words, and Cid, I really truly mean this. I am honored. I feel I couldn't even sleep last night. I'm like, I'm gonna have Cid on Voces Poderosas. So, but everyone's waiting to listen to you, to find out about your journey, tu historia. Who is Cid? How did you become the amazing Cid? Were you always this amazing? Just tell us about yourself.
Oh, you're too nice. So thank you so much. It's great to be here. So, I'll say very simply that I'm someone who's born into a very proud Dominican American family. My parents, Dr. James Wilson and Nilda Wilson, came to the United States from Barahona, Dominican Republic, on the south side of the island, with a dream to one day have a medical practice in the United States. They were among the first Dominican to open a medical clinic in Washington Heights in the 1960s. So to see all the doctors' offices in Washington Heights, the fact that my parents were the first is really something that's a great pride, and grew up very proud of who I've always been as an Afro-Latino, a Black Latino, a Dominican American. One of my brothers is someone that you and everybody else knows very well, Magic Juan. You remember him from the Proyecto Uno days early on. No pare, sigue, sigue, salvo tiburón. So that's my brother, my Latin Grammy nominated brother, which I'm very proud of. But one thing that I think is a common denominator is that we were raised that when you succeed, you give back. And when you give back, you succeed. And so when you make sure that you share your blessings, that you don't keep them to yourselves, that you make sure that you share them with the community to help lift us all up, it really is a very circular investment that happens, that you succeed and you give back. And as you give back, it truly succeeds. And so after I graduated college, and I wanted to get involved on Wall Street, which was my dream, and no one would hire me. And so they said, you didn't go to Harvard, you didn't go to Yale, you didn't go to Wharton. So I went to the old Paine Webber. It's now UBS today, and I went to them and I said, well, I'll take any job. They said there's nothing clerical, there's nothing secretarial, there's nothing in operations, there's nothing at all. I said, well, what about the mailroom? They says, well, we don't have a budget for the mailroom. I says, okay, then don't pay me. Just pay for my lunch and pay for my bus transportation back home. And if I'm not the best mail boy that you've ever had, then you can fire me, and it will cost you nothing more than lunch and bus transportation. And only
Wow.
then did Payne Weber say yes. And
Wow.
that is how I started my career from the mailroom to an assistant to an associate to junior analyst to senior analyst to vice president to managing director. And you can imagine when I got the call from Forbes magazine in 2006 when they said that we did their ranking of their best Wall Street financial analysts in each of their categories. And in my field of specialty, they ranked me number one analyst in the country. And
Wow.
and so that was something that was very important. But as I said about, succeeding giving back, I said I want to make sure that that others see what I could do if given the opportunity, which is also synonymous with the word equity, because people don't know what equity means. Equity means opportunity, and I was given that opportunity, that equity and opportunity to prove that I can be the best billboy, the best assistant, associate, junior analyst, and then finally an analyst when Forbes ranked me number one. And I adopted a belief that whatever you do, wherever you go, however you show up, just remember these things, that if you plan to achieve, but you dare to exceed, then
Mm.
great results you will see. If you plan to achieve, you dare to exceed, then great results you will see. And I've taken that mindset through my Wall Street years. And then 11 years ago, when I became the president and chief executive officer of the Hispanic Association on Corporate Responsibility, also known as HACR, I took that exact same mindset, that plan to achieve, dare to exceed, then great results you will see. And I'm super proud of just the many, many things that we are doing at HACR to make a meaningful impact on advancing Hispanic inclusion in corporate America, which I'm proudly continuing to do today.
Gosh, I knew there was a reason I couldn't sleep. You said amazing. This is exactly what we need the younger generation to hear. This journey, how resiliency and how your tenacity, but what you are saying, just, you know, manifesting, right? Manifesting it and believing it. And this is so powerful. Thank you for that advice. I know it's changing my life just as you speak. So imagine how many other people and how many younger people. So why don't you tell me a little bit about that? Tell me what advice do you give the younger generation and how has your Latinidad played a part in that?
Well, I love the fact that you shared how I manifested, and I like to think that I'm manifesting my destiny, and this is something that I suggest that young leaders, one is that always think about how you can take your dream and turn it into a decision, and take that decision and turn it into action. And the best way to take something that's actionable is to schedule it, plan it, put a deadline behind it, visualize it, make it real. One of the people that I really admire, Tony Robbins, who says that if you talk about it, it's a dream. When you envision it, it gets exciting. When you plan it, it becomes possible. But when you schedule it, it becomes real. And I've been doing my annual schedulings every December, and I have made that case. So young people should do that. Second thing that's important for young leaders to know, especially young Latino leaders and young Latina leaders, is that you are never too young to do anything. You can do anything currently now, and then use that as your momentum. I got on my first corporate advisory board when I was just 36 years old. The average age is 58 to get on one. I've been appointed by two presidents of the United States. When I got the call from the White House that President Obama wanted to appoint me to the National Museum of the American Latino, and then President Biden would appoint me to the White House Commission on Educational Excellence. It's not like I was looking for this stuff. It's just that when you manifest your destiny, these things begin to happen. And so for young leaders to be able to plan. And then the third part, which is something that I promote as young leaders, but you're going to find this out even as you get older, and that is that you're going to be in rooms where you may be the only one in the room, the only Latino in the room, the only Latina in the room, the only Black person in the room, the only woman in the room, the only LGBTQ in the room, whatever that might be. You might feel like you're the only one in the room. Just remember this saying: is that if you've been invited to the seat, you're invited to speak. If you're
Oh,
invited to the seat, you're invited to speak. Do not use that opportunity to be silent because silence is assimilation. And assimilation means you become a number. And you don't want to be an assimilationist. What you want to be is an acculturationist to showcase our cultural Latinidad. And the best way to do that is make sure that when you're invited to the seat, you're invited to speak. And when you do that, you go from just trying to fit in to someone who's standing out. And if you take the word stand and out, and you reverse those words, what word do you have?
outstanding.
Outstanding. So you can be outstanding, not by fitting in. You stand out by standing out, and you stand out by making your voice heard, declare your presence. When you're invited to the seat, you're invited to speak. And if you do that, you will be amazed at how many things we will open up for you as you're opening things up for the rest of us in the community as you become that pioneer.
Wow. Okay, that's it. I need a podcast just for Cid Wilson. You, you are phenomenal. You are truly an amazing leader, and you have great advice that is just inspiring me more than I can genuinely express. And I think that that's
Thank
exactly
you.
what we need to hear. No, thank you. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you. And looking ahead, what achievements or breakthroughs do you believe or think that our community still needs to pursue, our Latino community?
The one thing that our community needs to continue to do is to make sure that we show up, that we declare ourselves, that we look at all the opportunities that are presented to us, and not only do we make sure that we use them not only to the benefit of ourselves and our communities, but making sure that we continue to keep that pipeline available for the next generation after this young generation, because we want to be sure that pipeline, whether you're in your 60s, 50s, 30s, 20s, or a teenager, continues to be wide open because we are a proud community. We're from, as my brother was saying, son Latinos. Whether you're from España, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Santo Domingo, Honduras, Guatemala, Mexico, Nicaragua, Chile,
El Salvador.
Ecuador, Panamá, El Salvador, Perú, Cuba, Uruguay, Paraguay, Colombia, Costa Rica, Argentina, Bolivia. O sea, feeling mi gente está caliente, Latino hasta la muerte, as my
Oh,
brother would say. So we show our proud, we show our pride, we show up, and when we do that, we are truly empowering each and every one of us to just be that example of Latino excellence.
wow. This is where I'm like, 15 minutes is not enough. Cid, it's been an absolute honor to hear your journey, your wisdom, your fearless commitment, everything. You are just a phenomenal human being. And I just feel to tell you, you're just getting started. There's so much more to come. And I can't wait to just watch you. And from now on, whether you like it or not, you have been dubbed my mentor.
You are too sweet. Thank you.
You are too amazing. There's so much knowledge and wisdom in you that you have got to impart it. And thank you. Thank you for being on Voces Poderosas. I mean that extraordinarily from the bottom of my heart. And thank you for reminding us what true leadership looks like, Cid. Gracias de todo
No, muchas
corazón.
gracias a ti. Muchas gracias a ti. Muchas gracias. Y para adelante, Jackie, y para adelante, mi gente.